go over another Bellringer that we did on period 2. This was the Bellringer that asked for some environmental and geographical features for the New England colonies, middle colonies, and the southern colonies. So this was the 3 that are on your screen. So briefly explain how one specific environmental or geographical feature of the New England colonies contributed to the region's unique development before 1754. And then you see the ones for the middle colonies and the southern colonies. Let's go ahead and take a look at A. So for A, again, it's briefly explained how one specific environmental or geographical feature of the New England colonies contributed to the unique development before 1754, right? So just before the 7 Years' War. And we want to make sure that we really understand what's being asked. So we circle 1 because we're looking for one specific example. And they're looking for environmental or geographical features. Okay, so environmental or geographical could be what were the harbors like, what was the climate like. Okay, we're not getting into so much of the personal relationship between the inhabitants, the native inhabitants, and the European colonists. Okay, so we're really looking for something related to the environment or the geography of that particular region. And in this case, we're specifically looking for that in the New England colonies. And of course, we're looking for it before 1754, so before the 7 Years' War. So first important thing is, what are the New England colonies? Okay, we need to know what that is before we even start writing down our response to the prompt. So the New England colonies are those up in the furthest northern part of the English colonies. So they consist of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Okay, to go into the middle colonies, we're talking about Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Delaware. And then the southern colonies, you have Maryland, Virginia, the Carolinas, and Georgia. In the last number of years, they've kind of separated Maryland and Virginia into the Chesapeake colonies, and then the southern colonies being the Carolinas and Georgia. All right, so once you know what states or colonies are involved, you can start going ahead and just jotting down some ideas. Okay, again, this is all before we have even started writing a response. So New England, of course, we know had rocky soil. All right, it's the reason there weren't large plantations up there. Also wasn't large plantations and a lot of cash crops being produced because the summers were humid and the winters were very long. So it wasn't good for that type of economy. But they did have good harbors, and the harbors certainly provided them a good mixed economy where they could make boats, and they could do fishing, and of course they could conduct trade. So that was a good geographical feature for them. And so I think in my response, I'm going to go with the good harbors. Now you want to make sure that you use the ACE method. Again, this is a timed exam, so you want to make sure that you're working steps for each section of the exam because it will help you to maximize your time. Okay, and that's very important when you're taking a timed exam. Using the ACE method also makes sure that you are responding to the prompt. Okay, a lot of students will not write out the full prompt. They'll leave off the date, or they'll leave off important information like environmental and geographical. Okay, you want to make sure that you use ACE the way that it's meant to be used. Okay, it's not going to use up a lot of your time, and it will make sure that you're responding to the prompt. A point of the short answer question from the College Board's perspective is they want to see, can you provide a short response that is concise, that provides a specific example, and that provides a really short explanation on why your example responds to the prompt. Okay, this is not an essay. So you only need 3 or 4 sentences at the most. So again, we're going to follow ACE. Okay, so we're going to answer the prompt by restating the prompt. So one specific environmental or geographical feature of the New England colonies that contributed to the region's unique development before 1754. And again, write out that date. Okay, lots of students will miss getting a point on an SAQ because they leave the date out and they've written a great response, but it's not within the required time period. So put that date in there. It doesn't take a lot of time. All right, and then we're going to use our one specific example. Words good harbors. Okay, there's one sentence. I've used my A, I've used my C, I've cited one specific example. All right, good harbors is a specific example. And now I'm going to explain why that example answers the prompt. Okay, so New England harbors, like Boston Harbor, supported shipping, fishing, and trade industries which were important to its economy. That's it, 2 sentences. Now, again, you can go up to 3 or 4 sentences, but you don't want these really long paragraphs like you're going to write on your essay. Okay, this is a short answer question. They want to make sure that you respond to it appropriately. All right, so go ahead and practice now with B and C. Okay, now that you know what the colonies are, and make sure that you're using that ACE method. Okay, and good luck and strive for 5.